All right, the cards are on the table. Now we know the commander swap will include 2 swaps, but only one will be available for everyone. So the swap will be available for 12k gems. Luckily they have 13. And the second one will be through a bundle. And as a free-to-play, this makes this commander swap literally the most important thing you can choose. And I think there is an easy choice. Luckily, there is an easy choice you can make. And we're going to talk about which one it is, which I'm going to go for, and maybe what you should go for as well. So initially, there have been talks that commander swap would be too expensive. It will cost 50k gems. And I don't even know where that rumor started, but it really felt unrealistic from the start, in my opinion. But now we know it's only 12k gems. And if you look at my composition, I'm going to show you right here. So my composition looks like this. We got 1 Archer March, we got 1 Smite Infantry, we got 1 Wedge Infantry, 1 Cavalry March, and 1 Leadership March. So it's a bit unusual as a free-to-play, but it's just the route I went with and stuck with. And now I'm at a crossroads and I want to make as much damage as possible while also making the most out of my investment so far. And as you can see, there are some kind of outdated commanders. Like one could be replaced. Nevsky will still be relevant. William could be replaced, and the Trajan I don't even use in the field anymore because it's just a huge hospital bill and it's not sustainable anymore. It's only good in Canyon and events like that. So my predicament comes from where can I make the most improvements so I can make the most out of my investments, but also making the most damage as possible. And if we go by damage, all the way up to this point, I think Ragnar was the safest choice in terms of just pure damage. Like you get Ragnar, you swap Ragnar, and you get rid of Guan, and you run Ragnar Scipio, and that would be an easy choice. But then Philip came around, and Philip doesn't do any like damage, but he makes all of the. I mean, actually does more damage than Trajan per se, but that's not his primary role. His primary role is to really buff the other pairing in that combo. And now we have King Arthur, who's going to be absolutely busted. And I think the choice is easy. I think for vast majority of the players, because I remember when Nevsky arrived, and I didn't have any sculptures to invest in at the time, and I just saw so many people have fun with him, like get all these crazy reports. And I was jealous because I couldn't do it. I was late. But now we got Nevsky 2.0 in King Arthur, and I'm not going to miss that chance again. So my choice for the commander swap is going to be King Arthur. But who am I going to swap for? Well, in the video that they mentioned, you cannot swap gathering commanders, and you cannot swap commanders you can't use universals on. So you can't swap Ethelflaed, Barca, Minamoto, commanders like that. So I'm probably going to be a gold key commander. But the thing is, I use some of the sculptures in stage 3 of the RCF. So I don't have enough sculptures to insta-max the gold key commander back. So I'm going to see who I'm going to ditch and work on again. I think the closest one I can do is Cao Cao, but it doesn't really matter. I can do whatever. Like CC I only use for forts. Maybe El Cid. El Cid is not usable at all for me, so I'm probably going to be El Cid. But even if I don't want to use the gold key commanders, I can use someone like Sargon, who's just not going to be meta. Like, the only downside is his damage factor, which is not bad. It's just how it works. It takes too long in the open field to make it count. But you know, there's options. Maybe I could get rid of, like I said, El Cid. Caesar I kind of like because of the... Actually, yo, the relic gives you the march speed, so maybe I could get rid of Caesar too. But I like the truth capacity for joining things, so maybe not. But what would I recommend for people who are coming to the season conquest? I think you should also jump on the Arthur train. You want to start this new generation strong. And the good thing about Arthur is he can be very flexible. He can be paired with skill damage commanders. So if you have a lot of veg armaments ready, you can just jump in and use him as a secondary. But even if you want to later use him as a primary with the combo attack, you can still work on him. And you can still have a decent amount of pairings. And it's probably going to be, I think in the long run, the combo style of Arthur is going to be better than the veg. It's just my prediction, but we'll see how much. So in that regard, I'm also thinking to upgrade my cavalry armaments in the way that I will go here and I will go use this inscription shard, which I'm still some time away, but I can just easily get balanced and just get more skill damage. And if it comes to the case to switch to combo, I can always switch the combo by using the armament swap in the future. So probably steel skin you could get, which is not bad. And I still have a lot of universals, and by the end of the month, like we're still in KVK, by the way, we're still in the middle of KVK. We just had our first zone opening, and let me just say it was pretty underwhelming. And I don't know, the Imperial Kingdom in Fire Camp is not really being an Imperial Kingdom. They're not punching for that weight, you know. So they're pretty easily lost the zone, but now they're trying something here from the past, maybe just for kill event points. I'm thinking that's gonna be the case, but as you can see, their resistance is not that strong. I could be wrong. There's still a lot of fighting to be done in altars and past 7. We got Kingsland still, so there's a lot of time to be investing and make use of these investments as best as possible. So I wanted to have a lot of damage, and I think you can get more damage than Arthur currently in the game, or when he releases in like a week from now or 10 days. So Arthur is going to be behind Nevsky. Nevsky is going to be such a good pairing for him because he's going to be reducing the defense of the targets, and then Arthur is just gonna clap them with the skill damage. And you have so much tankiness on this map. You got 20% health, you got 20% health on Arthur too, you got 40% march speed, you got 40% attack. You're just gonna do a ton of damage. You get more defense, and you do even more damage. But the fourth skill is the best one because it's even more skill damage. Like, you cannot go wrong with Nevsky Arthur in any sort of way. And I'm really excited to use it in the KVK. I can't wait. But the question remains is, I have over 500 universal sculptures, and I need around 150 to fully expertise a commander. So the next commander who I'm going to invest in to make use of my investment, as you can see, this leadership set right here, it's looking quite nice for a potential infantry pairing, but also potentially for cavalry pairing. So I'm going towards Philip, and I don't think this should be per se followed. I only am doing it because I'm tired of Trajan. I'm still going to use Trajan in things like Canyon, but the gear is going to be gone from him over to Philip. And my plan so far, because I know Philip is very flexible, you can make so many pairings with him, and that is what I like about him. My thought process is so to use Nevsky with Arthur behind him, Going to use still the same Archer March, so Zug Herman. I'm probably gonna stick with Guan Scipio still, because I don't have too many sculptures lying around. If I had 2 swaps, I would go for Ragnar and Arthur easily, but I can't. And now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go with Philip and William Wallace behind him. So William Wallace is a smite commander. He does these, like, some amount of AoV, but he also provides stats and also shielding. And I think this shield might be buffed by Philip if you're using the echelon formation, which I will. And for my smite march, I'm going back to Liuce with Alex. Double relic Alex. So I think this lineup will get me a lot more damage because Liuce Alex is going to provide the debuff, which makes the target take 30% more damage, which is already huge. Philip is going to buff my own marches to do 24% damage. Where is Philip? I unlocked him yesterday. Oh no, it was Thursday. So Philip with echelon formation is going to buff your marches to up to 24%. It's going to reduce damage you take by 12%. That is significant. Very significant. Now, the good thing I like also about Philip and Arthur is their 4th skill. Philip reduces the rage up to 3 targets. 100 rage against 3 targets. That's 300 rage. And Arthur also reduces 200 rage. I think it's only 1 target. But if you have it on the lineup and if you're really focusing on a target, you're going to severely diminish their skill cycles. And I like that a lot. So those are my current plans. This might change because Philip is honestly giving me a lot of headaches because the pairings you can make with him are so good. Like, I even thought about pairing Philip with Zuki as secondary and then use something like Herman YSG. But then I realized, like, Archer's going to be so targeted. When Cavalry comes around, like, King Arthur's just going to melt every Archer in sight. And I don't think that's the best play. I think the best play is to get more infantry to counter that, because William Wallace also dispels all of the debuffs, like the slow. And it's going to be very helpful because King Arthur actually, well, doesn't slow you down, but also gets march speed to catch up with you on his 4th skill. Plus the shielding factor is going to absorb a lot of damage. Oh well, we failed. Oh no. I failed the exam. How embarrassing. So he's going to provide the shielding to negate some of that burst damage if Arthur's being primary with the combo attacks. I think combo attack is going to be so much burst out of nowhere. It's going to be like Alex on steroids. If you look at it, is proc damage. It's going to be something like that, I would assume. And yeah, it's going to be, this is the most exciting period in Rise of Kingdoms that I've witnessed in years. And it is a shame that we can't get both commander swaps, but at the end of the day, I'm still grateful we have 1. I think 1 is better than 0. They could easily made this blocked with the bundle by putting both swaps behind the bundle. It would be a bad move, but they could still do it. And I know the reasoning why they did it, because, you know, this is the most anticipated update and people will buy the bundle. No questions asked for people who spent. So for the free-to-players out there, I feel for you, but if you're a lower spender, I think you should definitely get the swap and make the most of it and prepare yourself to be in the next meta. And I'm also going to talk about that soon. I think King Arthur is the prelude that we're going to witness so many OP commanders again. Like, I remember when the Nevsky came out and then Scipio Prime came out, Boudica Prime. All of these commanders were a must-have. So I'm thinking you need to have a lot of universals on hand to get them as fast as possible so you can make the most of them as fast as possible. Which, if you're a spender, you're probably going to be okay with it. But if you're a free-to-play low spender who don't have as much universal sculptures coming around from events and stuff like that, you might have to be more strategic. And I'm probably going to do the same, but I want to have the most damage in the KVK as possible, because after the KVK we have a 2 month like break. We don't have to invest at the time, we just collect things for the KVK. So yeah, this was my discussion, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know who you're gonna swap your commanders for, what do you think about. I'm open for discussion. I like talking about these things, and I'm still brainstorming the potential pairings I can make, and I'm looking out for reports where I see something like Philip William Wallace, if that actually is good enough. So if you have any, please let me see them in the Discord or in game. That'll be very appreciated. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.